Stick Season by Noah Kahan. You might be like, Beth, this is so random. I've never heard of this album. Or you have heard of it and you're wondering, like, why am I here listening to it? This is an album that I've heard utterances here and there about, but I really don't know too much of what to expect. I am really intrigued by this whole thing because I listened to like a snippet of one of the songs the other day because I was like, you know, let me just see if I even am going to want to cover this album. And immediately I was like, this is gonna be a whole thing. It was really beautiful. I really loved the lyric. I don't remember anything about it, but I was like, I want to cover this album. So, Stick Season, I don't know anything about what Stick Season is. Is that fall? Is that winter? I really don't know. I am not sure yet if I'm gonna do just the 14 songs or the 21 songs. It is literally 1 a.m. right now. Why do I record my reactions this late at night? The world may never know. I am really excited because I've heard this is a similar vibe to Folklore. That was just like one person who told me that, so I'm sure it's different in its own way, but like, you know what I'm getting is like Man in the Woods or Man of the Woods or whatever that Justin Timberlake album was. A lot of these track titles are really interesting to me. Orange Juice and Strawberry Wine are definitely the ones that I am so excited to hear. I love those titles, but I'm so excited. I really am. I feel like very, very in the mood for this right now. Like I need a little bit of a woodsy, cozy, comforting vibe of an album tonight. So yeah, if you're in for the journey, let's go ahead and get started. The first track is called Northern Attitude. Why am I getting like Irish jig? I don't know.
Breathing in, breathing out. How you been? How your kids? Where are they now? You build a boat, you build a life. You lose your friends, you lose your wife.
Oh.
Okay.
Does it mean?
Wait, what? Okay, I was thinking the lyrics sounded really nice to start off with, and then he started saying stuff about how we're losing family members, and I was like, okay, so it is gonna be sad. Why are we doing jump scares? Like, that is the last thing I saw coming on this album. I really thought it was about to be so chill.
If I get too close, and I'm not how you hoped.
Oh.
Forget my northern attitude. Oh, I was raised out in the cold. Attitude. Oh, I was raised on little light.
Oh. I was raised on Little Light. Okay, I don't know. I do like this. It's like this type of music that I'm like, okay, I'm kind of just adjusting to it. You know what I mean? There's so much more production than I anticipated. The guitar is so much more aggressive than I anticipated, but in the best way. It's not a bad thing. I just am a little bit thrown right now. It sounds like he's Irish or something. It sounds like he might be Irish, Scottish. Didn't know that either. I didn't really know much about him. Who is he? Oh, at the core of the music's upbeat energy. See, I didn't know we were getting upbeat. I really thought this was about to be the most laid back album on the face of the earth. Wait a second. I love the song Hurt Somebody. And it says he wrote that with Julia Michaels. Okay, he's from Vermont. I'm sorry. I thought he was Irish or Scottish. There's a bit of an accent. I guess that makes sense because Northern Attitude, like it makes sense he's from Vermont, but there's just something in his voice. I mean, maybe it's the Vermont accent. I've never been to Vermont. Like, I don't know what they sound like over there.
Taking it slowly.
Hi. I knew someone else was on it, but I never connected that it was, anyway.
Search online, you're getting lost. Scared to live, scared to die. You build a boat.
Is he gonna call me out on this album?
You settle down, you're feeling lost. You're getting stoned, then kicking rocks.
Kicking rocks. Like anyone else just really thrown by this?
Forget my northern attitude. Oh, I was raised out in the cold.
I love the way it goes up during the chorus. I like the...
Forget my northern attitude.
I love that.
Raised on little light.
I love the... This is is really pretty. This is really well layered. I love that.
Attitude, oh, I was raised out in the cold.
That is such a good melody.
If the sun don't shine till the summertime, fuck if I know that
Everything I didn't expect. I expected that to be a super chill, laid-back song. And while it did feel like a chill song and like I could kind of just sit back, relax, and listen to it, it was, well, other than that part where he jump scared me, it was so much more upbeat than I anticipated. Overall, I liked it. I feel like it's one of those songs that I'm gonna need a minute with, but I loved the chorus. That was absolutely beautiful. Like the melody when it went up to Northern Attitude, that was like such an elite soundbite in my opinion. So yeah, it was just really different than what I expected. And I feel like anytime that's the case, you're gonna need a minute to like adjust to the, yeah, I try not to go into albums with expectations, but it's one of those things that like, I do end up going into a lot of albums with expectations. Never thought he would jump scare me like that in the first freaking song. The next one is the title track, Stick Season. Really excited for this one because I listened to a soundbite of just like 2 seconds of it and I was like, yes. So I'm really excited for this one.
as you promised me that I was more than all the miles combined. You must have had yourself a change of heart like halfway through the drive, because your voice trailed off exactly as you passed.
This tempo is throwing me off. It sounds like it's sped up, but I know it's probably not.
I am terrified of weather, cause I see you when it rains. Doc told me to travel, but there's COVID on the planes, and
Okay, I already saw that lyric before it played, and I was like, wow, I really like these lyrics. As you promised me that I was more than all the miles combined, you must have had yourself a change of heart halfway through the drive because your voice trailed off exactly as you passed my exit sign. Gorgeous lyrics. Really especially love the line of trailing off past the exit sign. Like, that imagery is so beautiful. It really paints the picture. It's one of those lyrics that shows but doesn't tell, which I always love. Kept on driving straight and left our future to the right. Now I'm stuck between my anger and the blame that I can't face. Wow, that's beautiful, beautiful writing. I'm terrified of weather because I see you when it rains. It's wistful, it's beautiful, it's sad.
but it's the season of the sticks, and I saw your mom. She forgot that I existed, and it's half my fault.
I love the chorus.
Of some version of you that I might not have, but I did not lose. Now your tire tracks in one pair of shoes, and I'm split in half, but that'll have to do.
Ooh. Okay, I love this chorus. I love the vocals. I love the melodies. I love the way it said the season of the sticks. Like, that was a really, really satisfying soundbite. Also, when he said, what did he say? When he said, I'm split in half, but that'll have to do. Another really, really gorgeous lyric. Really sad, but like, it was so beautifully written and so beautifully sung. There's a yearning in this music. It hurts.
So I thought that if I piled something good and all my bad, that I could cancel out the darkness I inherited from Dad. No, I am no longer funny, cause I missed the way you laughed. You once called me forever, now you still can't call me back. And I love Vermont, but it's the season of the sticks. I'll drink alcohol till my friends come home for Christmas. Might not have, but I did not lose. Now your tire tracks.
I really love this one. I like this song more than the first one. Like, as an entire song, it's just speaking to me more than the first song did. This is absolutely beautiful. The lyrics and the vocals on this song, like, he does this little run during the chorus that is my favorite part of the whole song. Just the lyrics are just hitting. I'm not necessarily relating to them, luckily, but they're just hitting because they're so beautifully written. Like, I love Vermont. season of the sticks. I don't know what that means, but like, I kind of like it. I'll dream each night of some version of you that I might not have, but I did not lose. Your tire tracks and one pair of shoes, and I'm split in half, but that'll have to do. Like, it's just a beautiful, heart-wrenching breakup song about like the feeling of losing someone and feeling you're half of yourself. You've lost like a part of yourself, a limb, a stick. It's absolutely beautiful. And thankfully I am not relating to this, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't hit, and it doesn't mean that I don't feel things while listening to it. But I guess it's not necessarily about a breakup. It could be about losing someone in general. Okay, I hope this pain's just passing through.
My other half was you.
I don't like it though.
Season of the sticks and
I love his choruses. His choruses always go up. And it's do little lil. It's really fun.
I'll drink alcohol. I'll dream each night of some version of you that I might not have, but I did not lose.
Lose, that's the note.
That'll have to do.
I love that song. I am so glad I love that song because the first song, I liked it. But I was like, this isn't my song in this moment. Like, I'm not feeling this on a spiritual level. But that one, I felt it on a spiritual level. Like, that was just so beautiful. The chorus, the melodies, his voice, the vocals, the lyrics, it all was just perfect throughout the entire thing. Like, I really don't know how to comment on it because I think it was just a perfect song. It was perfectly written. It was perfectly produced. Like, everything just worked so well in that song. But we're going into All My Love. Is this like a story album? Like, is this gonna be kind of a continual theme of him being heartbroken? Maybe this girl left him. I don't know. We'll keep an eye out.
Okay.
It is really folky. I mean,
How have things been? Well, love, now that you mention it.
he keeps it bumping though.
My folks still talk, but they speak in these two-word sentences. No winter coat could keep out all the cold of your atmosphere.
Ooh, no winter coat could keep out the cold of your atmosphere. That's one of those lyrics that just stops me in my track, and I have to just pause the song to mention it because it's just such a good lyric. Okay, we shall continue, but
Grade, we'd shake the frame of your car. There ain't a drop of bad blood. It's all my love. You got all my love. I'm still out here.
okay, so this is kind of rekindling of their romance, or at least he's attempting to, by saying, you have all my love, like no bad blood, everything's good. Not the song that I thought was gonna follow up the last track. I definitely thought it was gonna be another heartbreak song, especially this being the track before She Calls Me Back. I was like, okay, we're getting a breakup story and it's happening right here, right now, like in this moment. It's all just like the rest of this album is just gonna be a sad like breakup story, but potentially not, although maybe he's saying that he still loves her. I don't know. You know what I love is like the little vignette lyrics that he does. It paints the picture so beautifully, and it's just so specific. Like, my folks still talk, but they speak in these two-word sentences. I also like how he uses words like folks and words that I personally like don't use very often, but he's like singing in his own way, in his own dialect, and I just think that's really cool. And I know it's like folk music and folky, so it makes sense he would say folks, but like it's just something I'm noticing. I don't listen to folk music a lot. Like, this is very different for me, other than folklore and evermore. I don't really listen to folk music, so this is very like, okay, different for me. But I do like this one. It's not like stick season is just that girl for me right now, but I do really like this one.
Make me a list of how it is, of how it was, of how it has to be.
I love that.
You burrowed in under my skin, what I'd give to have you out. I still recall how the leather in your car feels.
Ooh. I really like it.
Well, I leaned in for a kiss 30 feet from where your parents slept. My hands grip the wheel, I smile stupid the whole way home. Now I know your name, but not who you are.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that song started and I was like, okay, I like her, but she's not Stick Season. But then I think I completely blacked out for like the last 30 seconds of that song. I loved that song by the end of it. The writing on that, the bridge, I don't know, I was like this mixture of like, I'm about to cry, but I'm about to like get chills all over my body at the same time because the bridge was so beautifully written. He said like, I kissed you like by the front door and like, I was really nervous, but I was really confident. And then my hands gripped the steering wheel as I drove home and like, that got me. It just got me. I don't think I've ever heard as wholesome and sweet of a lyric in a male love song as that bridge. I think that was like just the most wholesome, sweet part of any song I've heard from a male artist. Was it not just the sweetest freaking thing you've ever heard? I don't know. I just loved it so much. The next one is She Calls Me Back. Okay.
Oh, there was heaven in your eyes. I was not baptized.
What?
Everything's alright when she calls me back. She calls me back.
Okay, I love this because he's just so unashamed about how much he loves this woman. I don't know, is really standing out to me on this album. He is just so proud of his love that he has. Like, hearing the lyric, everything's all right when she calls me back. Like, obviously, there's a lot of male artists that sing about love, but I don't know. It's just really standing out to me. It just feels so unashamedly like I am in love with this woman, and I love that. It's so freaking sweet.
Lost for a long time. Two parallel lines.
The vocals.
She calls me back.
I love this. I love
Look
this.
at me and don't you lie. Bullshit, I do not have time.
True.
Remind me when I get bad news that I do not exist to die, but live to die while saving you.
Okay, this is my favorite since Stick Season. What is this sound? He brings in the beat, he makes it this bop. Like, I was not expecting the upbeat vibes on this album. I was really expecting to like have a very slow sound. But this is obviously the opposite. Like, this is very fast. I love the melodies and the way that the beat is now coming in. It was a delayed thing, and I love that.
There's a bite at your edges. Do you lie awake restless? Why am I so obsessive? Hanging on to every. I still dilate 229931667.
Is that her number?
She calls me back.
I love that. I love his choruses. He always has one line that goes up. It goes up to that line, and yeah, I don't know. I love his choruses.
She calls me back. She calls me back.
Then he punches you.
Always taunting me.
Ooh.
Every song a minor key.
This writing, these lines, there are so many lines that I physically have to pause and mention them because I would not be successful at doing my job. I would not feel successful at my job if I didn't mention them. The radio is taunting me, every song a minor key. This is the type of writing that I love. Most songs would just say, I heard a sad song on the radio and I thought of you. But instead, he says, the radio is taunting me. He makes the radio a character. Every song a minor key. So he is hearing sad songs and he's thinking of her. I love this creative writing where the artist comes up with a more creative way to say the line. I just will never shut up about it ever. Songs can get very lazily written in terms of lyrics. This is the opposite. It feels personal. It feels detailed, and I love that.
And I don't get much sleep most nights.
Literally me.
I love you when the rivers freeze. I still dilate 229931672 parallel lines.
I love that run. He loves a little run at the end of the chorus.
She calls me back.
The thing is, I can't even describe why I love this song so much, but like there's something so satisfying about the chorus. The way he says like, she calls me back. Like, I don't know why it's so satisfying, but it just is.
All the pain I should have saved, though I was too afraid of living life in your footsteps. In your
Bridge. The man loves his bridges.
afraid of living life in your footsteps.
This is so good.
Still she calls me back. Still she calls me.
The bridge was one of the best parts of the song, and that's when I know this man takes his bridges seriously. I loved that song. That was my favorite after 6th season. I know we're on the 4th song, but like I adored those songs with every fiber of my being. This is the kind of music like I kind of want to curl up into a ball and listen to like on my floor or something. So this is probably going to be a more like laid back video. I'm probably, I don't know what it's gonna be like, you'll see, I guess. But yeah, it's just kind of that kind of music. Like, I want to curl up into a ball in the middle of the woods. Not really, but like that, in an ideal world where like the woods were a safe place to go and you're not scared for your life, I would want to curl up into a ball in the woods and listen to this.
I'm in the business of losing your interest, and I turn a profit each time that we speak. And my house was designed to kinda look like it's crying. The eyes are the windows, the garage is the mouse. Come over.
I genuinely have no idea what I'm listening to anymore. Here's where I'm at. I'm very thrown because like the first song on this album, I didn't dislike it or anything. I liked it, but I was like, okay, I don't know if I'm gonna be obsessed with this album. But the more that it goes on, the more that I'm like, what am I listening to? Like, what are my ears being privy to right now? This is so, so beautiful. Like the way that this song started and the flow of that verse was insane. I love the lyrics. I'm in the business of losing your interest, and I turn a profit each time that we speak. This songwriting is, I don't know. It's just really getting me. Like it's so creative. Every lyric is creatively written and articulated. He could have just cut corners and written a line that was very generic and said like, you're not interested in me anymore. But he takes the time. This I know from 5 songs in. He takes the time to actually write a line that's creative. It's engaging. It's interesting. It's not that I only listen to songs that have lyrics like this, but these lyrics are why I love music. My house was designed to kind of look like it's crying. The eyes are the windows. The garage is the mouth. I don't know. It's just like, this is beautiful.
I was taking the wrong meds. Feels good to be sad in my house. My mouth was designed for my foot to fit in it. Oh, the words, they went missing when the stock market crashed and the Dow Jones keeps falling.
The flow of this song is insane.
Come over.
Oh.
Come over.
Sorry, my head feels heavy.
I know that it ain't much. I know that it ain't cool. Oh, you don't have to tell the other kids at school.
He writes really good bridges.
Someday I'm gonna be somebody people want.
Ow. No, this is like one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard.
Losing your interest, and I turn a profit each time that we speak.
I loved it. No, it was, that might have been my favorite so far, along with 6th season, of course. I don't know. That might have been above 6th season. That might have been one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard. It was stunning from start to finish. I'm shocked to see it doesn't have as many plays as the rest of the songs on the album. Like, that just feels a little bit like a crime to me. It was just a perfect song. I loved the falsetto when he went in to come over. I love how stripped back it was. That was kind of the sound I was anticipating for the whole album. I was thinking it was gonna all be this slow. But I have no complaints about what I've heard so far. I haven't listened to a male artist in a while, so it feels good. I just feel like I've been covering so many women. Like
silence is making me nostalgic. Two sizes. Oh, we were kids, but that don't make this less hard.
Is he just heartbroken in every song?
Little rednecks get drunk on a dirt road. Attention deficit kids in their gym clothes.
Where did that come from?
Receipts.
Oh.
Ooh, this town's for the record now. The intersection got a target, and they're calling it downtown.
Oh, that was kind of a funny lyric. The intersection got a target and they're calling it downtown. So it's kind of about the yassification of the city. But yeah, I don't know. Probably one of my lesser favorites so far too, just in general. It's the twang for me. I do really like the guitar on this album.
Rednecks get drunk on a dirt road.
I don't know what that means. I kind of like it, so.
Paper bags drift wherever the wind.
I do really love this pre-chorus, I'm not gonna lie. I liked that one, but it was definitely one of my lesser favorites so far. I like the specificity of the lyrics, but I will say that I just didn't really know what they were about, and then I wasn't really connecting to the sound as much. I don't know, with an album like this, a lot of the songs are sounding very similar to me, and I feel like it's just one of those albums because it has such a set sound and a set cohesion to it. I feel like it's all just running together right now, but I'm sure if I listened more, it would not all sound the same. Everything Everywhere, or Everywhere Everything, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Why am I getting like Hunger Games?
It's been a long year.
Yeah.
Would we survive in a horror movie? Two bodies riddled with scars from our preteens, intertwined in a car's dirty backseat.
I love the lyrics. They're so specific.
We didn't know that the sun was collapsing.
Two bodies riddled with scars from our preteens, intertwined in a car's dirty backseat. Stare at a drive-in screen. I love that. That, again, is one of those lyrics. It's creative. It's interesting. It's a little vignette, like you see it right in your mind happening as you listen. It's right there. I'm a very visual person. Like, I want to see what's happening in my head. I want to feel like I'm watching a movie. And I feel that with this album. I really feel like I'm watching something at the same time that I'm listening. There are these little pictures that are floating through my mind, and I love albums like that. It always makes an album listen more enjoyable in general because, I don't know, it's like a whole experience. You really feel like you're in it.
Oh, everywhere, everything. One of the few to perfume for the worms to eat till our fingers decompose.
I like it. I just don't know what's happening.
Keep my hand in yours.
Okay, I love this chorus, but like, why did he have to jump scare me again? I thought we left that back behind in the first track. But these lyrics, again, being so wholesome and so just loving. I want to love you till we're food for the worms to eat, till our fingers decompose. Is it kind of gross? Yes, but it's also very cute. It's so freaking cute how much he loves this person. I'm jealous, to be honest. Yeah, this is just a beautifully written love song. Like, you can see everything happening. Again, like, they're intertwined in the backseat watching a drive-in movie. The sun is setting, but instead of just saying that the sun was setting, he said, we didn't know that the sun was collapsing. I love his vocabulary. His vocabulary on this album is like my favorite thing about this album because you hear lines about sunsets all the time. And I haven't heard a lot of songs that say the sun is collapsing. I think this is the first one. I love his writing. I really do. Like, that is my favorite aspect of this album. I am enjoying the sound of it as well, but like, that is the thing that is standing out the most to me. I really like the sound of this one as well.
Drive slowly. I know every route in this county. It's been a long year and all of our books pages dog-eared. We write out the ends on our palms.
so beautiful.
We cried everywhere, everything.
I love that drop.
Superfood for the worms to eat. Keep our hand in the I wanna love you to a food for the worms to eat.
I like how he strips it back at the end of the song. I loved that one. I loved the explosion in the chorus. I loved the lyrics. It was just so sweet. It was such a sweet, creatively written love song. It really stands out because there are so many love songs that exist in the world. And it's really hard these days to make a love song that really stands out and sets apart from other love songs. But it really stands out in the writing. It really stands out in the little pictures he created. I just loved the imagery throughout that entire song. And throughout this whole freaking album. It is beautifully written. And I've been listening to so many female artists on my channel, and I'm glad that I have a male artist to check out because I've been feeling the lack of it. I love women artists, like women are the music industry, but it's nice to have a man. Get some manly vocals up in here. The next one is Orange Juice. I'm so excited to hear this one. I just have a good feeling. I love that little plucky. It's the kind of thing I want to learn on guitar. It's kind of reminding me of like Hosier a little bit.
Honey, come over.
Come over.
The party's gone slower. We know you got sober. There's orange juice in the kitchen. Bought for the children.
Does he have kids?
I've been ready for you to come home for so long. Didn't think to ask you where you'd gone.
Wait, she left again? Okay, he said, honey, come over, the party's gone slower and no one will tempt you. We know you got sober. Feels like I've been ready for you to come home for so long. So maybe she had a drinking problem and had to go away for a long period of time. So maybe that's why this album, it feels like it's equal parts I love you and equal parts I miss you. It doesn't feel like a heartbreak album, but it doesn't feel like a love album. It feels like there's both elements. And maybe that's because whoever he's speaking of went away and was like getting help for alcoholism and then came back home. So he's like, I love you so much. Like, I want you to get better, but also I miss you because you're not home. I don't know. I don't know his life story. Like, is he married? Does he have kids? I have no idea. But that's what I would guess.
You said my heart has changed and my soul has changed in my heart.
I love that.
And I haven't drank in 6 months from my crash back in '02 and filled you with anger. Feels like
So,
I've been
oh, see the graves as you pass through from our crash back in '02. Not one nick on your finger, you just asked me to hold you, but it made you a stranger and filled you with anger. So it sounds like there was a car accident and she has been affected mentally by that. Okay, not what I expected.
You said we all just close to you now.
What? She's resentful of him and her family.
You didn't put those bones in the ground.
What?
Party's gone slower.
I love his vocals.
No one will tempt you.
His voice is really pretty. Sonically, I liked the stripped back intimate parts of that song more than I liked the chorus. No, I think I liked the chorus. I liked the chorus and I liked the stripped back intimate. The in-between moments, again, it was just kind of running together with the other songs. I'm gonna have to take another listen to really figure it out. As far as the lyrics, it sounded a little bit revealing to like potentially the meaning behind this album. He said something about what sounded like his wife or a love interest getting in an accident and also having drinking problems. And through those experiences, it sounded like she became resentful of her family. And so he's kind of begging her to come back and saying like, I miss you so much. I want to rekindle this. That's just what it sounded like. I really don't know, but I feel like this album is really interesting because it's just equal parts heartbreak and love. If it's true, like what he said in that last song, and if I'm reading it correctly, I feel like that makes sense to why the tone of this album feels so divided between like, I love you so much and I miss you so much, why did you leave? And I know sometimes when people break up, one of them can love the other person, but this feels different. This feels like a different kind of I miss you. I don't know how to describe it. And there's another song later on the album called Dial Drunk, but I don't know if we're gonna make it there tonight, friends. It is 2:10 a.m. The next one is Strawberry Wine. Really excited for this one too because of the title. But like, can we talk about Come Over? Like, I'm still not over that song.
Darling, speak to me, but
His
don't
runs.
you say a word.
Why do I love the really slow ones?
I'm in love with every song you've ever heard.
So cute.
We buried your bones in
Wait.
firewood.
We buried your bones. I feel like I had the wrong interpretation of this. Is she dead? This one is gorgeous. Like, this is reminding me of Come Over. Like, these really beautiful, intimate ones are getting me.
If I could lose you,
If I could lose you, I would. But then he said we buried your bones.
love is fast asleep on a dirt road with your head on my shoulder now. Strawberry wine and all the time we used to have. No, I'm never coming back.
I don't like this one because it's really sad. Strawberry wine and all the time we used to have, those things I miss, but no, are never coming back. I really didn't need that lyric, to be honest. Like, that kind of sent me over the edge.
No thing defines a man like love that makes him soft and sentimental like a stranger in the park.
I'm gonna pause again because this line is exactly what I was trying to put into words earlier. Love that makes a man soft and sentimental like a stranger in the park. First of all, it's just a beautiful line, but second of all, that's kind of what I was trying to explain earlier, is he has this softness on this album. Like, he is so soft for whoever he's singing about, and it's just gorgeous. This is the kind of man that, like, is really attractive to me. Not to say I have a crush on Noah, but it's just really beautiful. I love a man that can get soft because he loves a woman so much. And that was just a beautiful line. Like, get out of here, Noah Kahan, with your beautiful songwriting. I can't do it anymore.
If I was empty space and you were formless shape, we'd fit.
This one's my favorite. No, I'm done with this. Oh, there's still 2 minutes? It's beautiful, but like if he adds any more lyrics, I'm gonna lose my mind. That one, I was like, if he sings one more line, I might start sobbing. It was just one of those songs. It was absolutely stunningly beautiful. Like, I can't even begin to say how much the really slow, intimate songs are speaking to me on this album. Again, it's not that I dislike the fast ones. I have loved some of the fast ones as well, but the ones that are really hitting me right now in this moment are the really slow ones. Beautiful. It was just beautiful. Like, I don't know if she died. I'm gonna look up the meaning after I listen to the rest of it, because I am curious to see if he talks more about it as the songs continue. The next one is Growing Sideways. I like that title because it's kind of how I grow.
I took my medication and I poured my trauma out.
That was me literally earlier today at the therapist.
Divvied up my anger into 30 separate parts. I'm still angry at my parents for what their parents did to them.
I feel like I've heard that line before or something.
But I ignore things and I move sideways until I forget what I felt in the first place. I know there are worse ways to stay alive.
Wow.
If my engine works perfect on empty, I guess
actually kind of shocked right now because he is straight up writing this song about me. If I have the right interpretation of this song, this is exactly how I've been living my life. I took my medication and I poured my trauma out on some sad-eyed middle-aged man's overpriced new leather couch. If you replace that with middle-aged woman, that was me earlier today. I said I'm cured and I divvied up my anger into 30 separate parts. Compartmentalizing, putting your emotions in different places and just all around ignoring them. I ignore things. I move sideways till I forget what I felt in the first place. I am sure I'm not the only one relating to this song. I feel like there's a lot of songs, to be quite honest, that the lyrics I don't really relate to in a really specific way. But this song is one of those songs that I just immediately felt really called out by. Everyone's growing and everyone's healthy. I'm terrified that I might never have met me. I really don't know what that means. If my engine works perfect on empty, I guess I'll drive. It's about the idea of living on empty. Going through the motions, feeling numb, and when you do feel something, stuffing it down and compartmentalizing all your different emotions and just continuing to ignore everything. I move sideways. Like you don't feel like you're growing. You don't feel like you're going in any particular trajectory that is helpful or healthy. You just feel like you're ebbing and flowing. And that is exactly how I have been feeling in my life. And I'm kind of just shocked at this song. Like I've never heard a song that so perfectly sums up some of the things I've been feeling.
So I forgot my medication, fell into a manic high. Spent my savings at a Lulu. Now I'm suffering in style. Why is pain so damn impatient?
He said, I forgot my medication. He switched up the lyric and said, fell into a manic high. So I think he's bipolar, at least if that's literal, in the literal sense that he was manic.
There are worse ways to stay alive.
And that lyric too, like there's always worse ways to live, but that doesn't mean it's good.
And if all my life was wasted, I don't mind, I'll watch it go. Yeah, it's better to die numb than feel it all.
I really don't like this one. He has beautiful bridges. He's a bridge king.
I ignore things.
Did I like that song? Is a different question than did I relate to that song. Did I relate to that song? Yes. As far as liking it, he made me feel less alone, I guess. That bridge was straight up offensive. It was beautiful, but it was offensive. That was a little bit over the edge. I feel like before that, I was like, this is a nice song. I am relating, it's painful, but like, I can deal with it. But when he got into the bridge, like that was just where I couldn't do it anymore. The next one is Halloween. I am excited about this one because maybe more imagery.
Drink till I drown and I smoke till I'm burning. Your hands are all over my sin. The wreckage of you I no longer reside in, and the bridges have long since been burned. The ash of your home.
More gorgeous imagery. I knew it was coming, like with a title like Halloween. But the wreckage of you I no longer reside in. The bridges have long since burnt. The ash of the home that I started the fire in starts to return to the earth. I don't know. It's just beautiful. I have no words anymore. I'm almost gonna fall asleep because the slow ones are getting me. Like I have nothing to say. I'm just closing my eyes and like feeling it.
It's not Halloween, but the ghost you dressed up as sure knows how to haunt.
Okay, kind of spooky, just a little bit haunting.
There's a murder of crows in the... I'm hearing your voice.
I love the strings. I'm surprised it took him this long to bring him in.
But the wreckage of you I no longer reside in.
I love the vocal layering.
Home that I started the fire. I'm leaving this town.
I love the build of this one. The strings and the layering and everything is just getting more built up. We're at the point in the album where the lyrics are going over my head, but I loved the imagery and I loved the build of the song. The vocal layering that came in later in the song was absolutely stunning, and it was a little bit haunting. It was a little bit spooky, which went along with the title, Halloween. Yeah, the strings. I'm honestly surprised there haven't been more strings on this album. That was kind of something that wouldn't have surprised me if there was just strings all over the place. I'm so confused if he is the one that is sick, or she is dead, or she is sick, or she is gone, or he is gone, or he is going off the deep end, or she has alcoholism, or he has alcoholism. And again, I want to wait and hear this album out, and then I will look up the meaning. But with that being said, I'm only listening to the standard edition because again, it is literally 2:30 in the morning. But Homesick, okay, great.
On since you got back, how have you been? And are you bored yet? The weather ain't been bad if you're into masochistic bullshit.
What? This one kind of has like a rocky element to it, but it's still folky. Folk rock, rock folk.
I'm tired of dirt roads named after high school friends, grandfathers, and motherfuckers here still don't know they caught the Boston bombers.
What? Oh.
I swear I feel my organs failing. I stopped, I mean, because I grew up in New England. I will die in the house that I grew up in.
This is very depressing.
Homesick. I grew up in New England.
I do love that. I wanted to like it. I really did. But for me, that was one of my least favorites. I think the sound of it was a little bit more folk rock than just folky. I could appreciate the way that it took flight and the way that the chorus was really explosive. I did like that. It was also really depressing, so. This album almost just gets more and more depressing as it goes, so that's fun. The next one is Still. I'm excited for this one because it might be stripped back. I love the intimate moments on this album so much.
I don't wanna say goodbye.
It's just so sad.
Only falls into place when you're falling to pieces. You find love that lasts a while till you lose the reason, saying, God, I'm alive. Can't stay here, it's hard to face, and it feels too ugly. Light a fire inside yourself. Stare up at a starless sky. You say, it's like I'm still here with you.
Falsetto, like, come over.
Look down on myself like a patient in surgery, and I used to watch my mother move like God was in the room.
What?
It's like I'm still here with you.
Is this about losing someone?
I don't wanna say goodbye.
I love his little lilts. But this definitely feels like it's about losing someone. I don't want to say goodbye. It's like I'm still here with you. You say, God, I'm alive, but the whole place is quiet. Again, I don't know if he's losing her because she's dying or if she's gone away. I'm still a little bit just confused about that.
Find love that lasts a while, then you lose the reason. You say, God, I'm alive.
I love the flow there. Okay. All right, so we're going into the last track that I will be listening to tonight. Not because I don't want to listen to the rest, because I genuinely really do want to listen to the rest. And I'm kind of regretting filming this as late in the day as I have, because I feel like it would give me more context to the album. I really am enjoying this album, and so I am bummed that I can't listen to them. But we will be going into the last song. It is The View Between Villages. This is an album that a lot of the time I'm just staring at the lyrics, so.
Air in my lungs till the road begins,
Really big, really grand.
and I'm split in the road down the middle.
I like the falsetto moments on this album. They're really pretty.
Seems so simple. I'm 17 again.
Looking back, and nostalgia is a
I am
constant
not
on this
scared
album.
of death. I've got dreams again.
Okay, I straight up don't need these lyrics.
And there is meaning on earth. I am happy.
Looking back, wishing you still had meaning and dreams.
Nostalgia Brook Road. I'm over the bridge. The depth of my dog. The stretch of my skin. It's all washing over me. I'm angry again. They got me surrounded for a mile or two. The cars in is.
I loved that build and then that coming back down so much. But how is he gonna end it? How is he gonna end it? Is he gonna bring a little hope into here? Because you always think the last track is gonna be hopeful, but this is just depressing. All right, you know what? Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna Google. Okay, so I do want to Google what this album is about because I feel like I didn't get clarity to exactly what it was about. Like as an album, I feel like there was definitely something that it was about and I had a few ideas, but I feel like I just didn't really grasp what it was fully about. So I am gonna look that up really quick and then we will chat. Kahan explained how stick season is the grim transitional time between autumn and winter when the foliage has fallen and the snow hasn't arrived. For him, the song's emotionally raw lyrics about the ghost of a dead relationship and feeling left behind shed light on life beyond beautiful leaves and maple syrup. Wow, that's really beautiful. It's also largely about in-between spaces when resentment lingers but forgiveness feels possible. I really love that. That is really poetic. Wow. Yeah, when I like looking this up, it's just even more beautiful. Stick season captures the sense of being trapped at home but simultaneously not wanting to leave the place that you know so well. I think that's so relatable, especially if you grew up in like a small town, because if you did, you know that it's kind of tempting to want to leave, but at the same time it's so homey, and I don't know how to describe it, but this was a beautiful album. The writing on it was stunning from start to finish. I loved the little like vignettes and like little pictures that he painted. It was so personal at times. So many lines just really stood out. I was like, that is a way more creative way of saying that line than what you could have written. He took the time to like write some really beautiful, gut-wrenching lines. Storytelling, imagery, it's all there on this album. Sonically, there were songs that I connected to more than others. I mean, this is the type of music that I definitely have to be in a really specific mood for. And while I did appreciate the entire thing, I feel like the songs that spoke to me the most upon first listen were the really stripped back, raw, intimate songs. I think that's just like kind of the mood that I was in, but there were so many more upbeat songs than I expected. And I feel like those are the songs that maybe I just have to be in a different mood and they'll hit a bit harder. It's one of those albums that just feels like fall. It feels like that in between of fall and winter, and he beautifully portrayed that as well. I think there was such a mixture of like heartbreak, love, longing. It was emotionally raw, it was emotionally depthful. I really loved his voice. He had some gorgeous vocals and runs, and it really did give me like Folklore and Evermore, but it was a different vibe also at the same time. Like, it was different. This is fun to get something a little bit different on my channel. This is very different than a lot of the content I have up. I have no idea if any of you have heard this album or what, but I'm glad that I checked it out. And it's an album that I do want to spend more time with. It's an album that I want to listen to the bonus tracks for. I don't know that I'm going to make another video. I'm probably just going to check them out on my own, to be honest, but maybe I'll include them in my ranking. I don't really know. So I am really glad that I checked this out. I feel like a lot of the songs, I was kind of just taking it in. I was kind of just like, head empty, and pain being experienced. There were some of the most beautiful, heartfelt, wholesome love songs on this album, but there was not a lot of moments that I was not experiencing some level of pain with the lyrics. I feel like it was one of those albums that didn't have a ton of hope. There was not really that hopeful element like in the last track. Usually the last track of an album is somewhat hopeful, but honestly, like, the last track of the album felt like one of the most depressing to me. Not like everything that was being portrayed was really depressing and emotional, but it just felt like one of those albums that doesn't really have a resolution. It doesn't have this moment of hope, this moment of epiphany, like everything's gonna be okay. It's kind of more about that in-between period and not having everything figured out. And I can appreciate that so much because I'm kind of in that stage. I'm just in a stage of my life where I don't have anything figured out. And so I think that's incredibly relatable. So yeah, love to see it. I love a concept album, and this does feel like a concept kind of album about that period. I will never forgive him for growing sideways. I wish I could relate to like the love songs, but no, I can always relate to the ones that are about not having your life figured out. Yes, here's 2, not having your life figured out. Honestly, you are not alone. I just want to put that out there. You are not alone. I am not alone. We are not alone. This is my album ranking. What are some of my favorites? Some of my least favorites? Always open to change and evolve over time, and feel free to disagree with me. Thank you so much for watching, for being here, and for listening to this with me. Feel free to like and subscribe and all the things, and I will see you guys in the next video.